making rice is difficult for women not to eat. This is our journey. Welcome to the Betancourt's homestead. Just for the heck of it, let's start cooking out of this book. We're going to make fried rice, The Fine Art of Chinese Cooking by Dr. Li Su Yang, whatever, Yang. It was written in 1960, copyrighted in 1962. He is from a very influential or wealthy family in China. There's his picture. And he writes very meanly towards women in this book, but we're just going to go with it. So, fried rice, we need the MSG. He's a professor, and he literally gives you specific things that you have to do. And, yeah.
You said it's difficult for women.
Yeah, he says making rice is difficult for women not to eat.
I told her it's okay. Go ahead and peek. The rice won't care.
First, we have to add 2 tablespoons of cold water and separate each individual grain. I'm letting my husband do that. My husband is now ranting because we don't have a 1/3 teaspoon, and this guy's calling for 1/3 of a teaspoon of everything. It's enough.
Not enough. Not enough.
We added the chicken, the rice, and the eggs. Now we have to stir for how many? 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Trust the process. I'm having trouble with this one. We added carrots and peas, and now we're going to do this for 3 more minutes.
Yes.
Time to add the sauce and mix thoroughly. And there you have it. We made fried rice from a Chinese recipe book written in 1962 for us Americans. There you go. I'm going to go try it. Okay. It is good.
Please, may I have some more? It's good. I loved it.
It is actually really good. I didn't want to like it. I wanted to actually hate him, but it was really good. And it tastes just like the stuff we get in the restaurants. You know, those good restaurants. Guess what? I got the walkout and I got the Man That Hates Women cookbook. Let's make some fried rice again, only this time I'm going to tell you how to make it. Follow it. I do 6 cups of cold rice, put 2 tablespoons of water in there, and separate each kernel. No, just joking. My husband would be doing that. I'm just going to put some water in it and put a fork to it. It does say to separate each kernel. I have washed my hands. I don't want to hear it. 3 eggs beaten. We're going to put that aside. Now here's where we're mixing the sauce. It's 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of sherry. I don't have sherry, so this is the best substitute. It's like a white Chardonnay wine. 1/3 of a teaspoon salt, 1/3 of a teaspoon MSG, 1/8 of a teaspoon pepper, and 1 tablespoon cornstarch. Mix it all together. There we go. Set that aside. 3 tablespoons of peanut oil into the frying pan and get it hot, nice and hot. And then we're going to add onions. So we're going to fry the onions until they're lightly golden brown, and we're stirring constantly. Then we're going to add the eggs and the rice and cook for 2 minutes, stirring constantly. Then we're going to add the green peas, and I have carrots, and mix the rice and the other ingredients and stir for 3 minutes. And then add the sauce and mix thoroughly. Serve hot. You get it? Okay. I read that to you because when you start, it like goes fast. So I may not be back. I may not be back until it's done. Onions are in. We're just waiting for them to get lightly golden brown. I added the eggs and the rice, and now we're stirring constantly for 2 minutes. Time to add all the other stuff and stir for 3 minutes. My arm's getting tired. I need to tap out. I need somebody to tap in. Okay, we're going in. Hang on. This is the book we were cooking out of, and let's taste it. Stir-fried rice, the second time we've made it. Yeah. Equally delicious. Oh my gosh. There you go. Spring rolls with fried rice. That's what's for dinner. You want to know the backstory? Let me share the backstory because it's funny. This book came from the Goodwill Outlet Center, the bin store, which is where you buy a book for like 30 cents or whatever. They have them in a big bin. And I picked this up because I thought, hey, I want to learn to make the fine art of Chinese cooking. I've always wanted to learn. And to be honest with you, I actually like the book. It's from 1962. The gentleman that wrote the book, that's his picture. He is from the wealthy side of China. Let's just read the dust cover. He was born into one of China's most respected and wealthy families. He was educated at home and is a close student of Chinese classics. In his youth, he traveled extensively and came to the U.S. for the first time when he was 15 years old. He's been around the world twice and spent a great deal of time in the South Seas, Malaya, Indonesia, it goes on. So he became a professor, and I believe he was up in the Seattle area. What makes me always say he hates women is the way he writes about women in the book. And let me just give you one example. We're talking about cooking rice. He's talking about cooking rice. There is no mystery in cooking rice properly. It simply requires a certain amount of self-restraint. The lid on the pan must be tight and it must be left on. Italics. Do not stir. Do not peek. Do not lift the lid. Non-italics. We have found that this is a very difficult rule for most women to follow. The Pandora instinct runs deep. If one can't stand the suspense, a glass lid will help the cook keep in touch. Although many nutritionists discourage this practice on the grounds that light destroys riboflavin. Remember that it is the steam which cooks the rice. Don't peek! And that's in all caps. What gets me is very difficult for most women. Really? I haven't read the whole book cover to cover. I may, because I do that with some of my cookbooks, but that is one of a few examples that I have found in this book. It's just the 1960s. And I'm actually having fun with it. So don't be like bashing him or anything. He's like teaching us how to cook Chinese food in his own way. And this is his way. And if we're going to learn how to make Chinese food in his own way with his book, we get his personality through the book. And I'm just having fun with it because it's hilarious. It also shows us how far we have come. This coming from a girl that spends most of her time in hardware stores. One of which I'll never go in because they always ask what my husband sent me in for. There you go.